When we started with the investment back in 2007, as I mentioned, our asset base was sitting at 9 billion. At that particular stage, tariffs went down by 23%. That was on the eve of a new infrastructure investment. Now, as a result of that, we had to basically finance the entire 16 billion out of our own reserves and basically raise money in the market. The fundamental question we then asked ourselves was, if the regulatory regime will only remunerate the assets when they get operationalized, which is at the same time in 2010-11, what would be the implications on tariffs? Because you basically double your investments. And as anticipated, it's been something that over time we went through court to test the principles that for us are much more logical. And it would have been expected that with such a huge investment, these tariff hikes or requirements should be anticipated and provisions be made for that. But nevertheless, I believe that the process that has been started by the DG is quite a good start, which will then enable ACSA to be able to improve on the returns that we've been earning over the last 4 years since we started with our investment program. Whilst we've got a loss this year of 220 million, over the last 3 years, we've posted returns to our shareholders of below inflation because we were not remunerated for the investments we're making. Now, what we're then hoping for is basically a much more clarity in terms of ensuring that the framework or the regulations that are going to be developed will give more certainty around when you embark on these major investments, how do you compensate for those? But also ensure that there's prudent investments so that we don't excessively invest. And in line with that, what is then expected is that ACSA's cash reserves will improve significantly. We are anticipating that when the next phase of investment comes, we should be able to cater for that in a much more smoother and a systematic manner. If you go back to where we were in 2007, before the pre-funding, we actually wanted inflation-linked tariffs. If that was granted then, tariffs would have been increased by inflation plus a maximum 9%. Now we are hoping that these new rules will ensure that irrespective of the size of the investment, that smoothing of tariffs continues as we move forward. And that will definitely alleviate most of the cash burdens and challenges that the industry will experience. Because whilst we've managed to get out of this environment almost unscathed, the next environment is not going to be that easy because of the size of investments that needs to be made. So I think for us, the more value we see is the fact that when we invest beyond the cycle, we will have more clarity and we'll be able to smooth tariffs better. The major impact that we're going to feel is on our traffic. We anticipate that for every 1% decline, there will probably be about 2%. And given the fact that most of that comes from the global side, the impact will be slightly higher in terms of the international traffic. But having said that, we have actually put proper measures in terms of our non-aeronautical revenues, our property portfolio. We've identified quite a number of investments in line with improvement domestically, where we are actually pushing for some of those opportunities. They're actually at an advanced stage. On the car rental side as well as the advertising side, we've been more innovative to try and zone our properties much better and be able to position them and sell them differently as well. We've looked at other different service offerings within our retail space to be able to improve on the asset base as we move forward, or leverage on that as we move forward as well. So whilst there might be some negative impact on the traffic impacting on the passenger numbers, we believe that the commercial side will cushion us from that perspective. In line with that, we are trying to, as much as possible, to ensure that our operational costs will then be managed in line with the reduced traffic as we move forward as well, to cushion that. If you recall, what we basically mentioned is that whilst there has been a positive recovery in terms of the global recovery, we've seen positive GDP, which contributed to the positive traffic trend, resulting in the increase in terms of our aeronautical revenues, plus as a result of the additional tariff increase that we got. But fundamentally, as you've seen, a lot of value was created from our commercial portfolio, which increased by approximately 22%. And that came at a time when, whilst there was a global recovery, disposable income was still very constrained. A significant portion of the retail revenue comes from our international customers, and with the global uncertainty as coupled with the strengthening of the rand, that was actually put under pressure, but nevertheless it grew by 19%. When you look at the Gautrain, which was good in terms of ensuring seamless transportation between the airport and the city, particularly Sandton City, it has had a very bad impact on parking revenues, resulting in almost 2 million loss on the revenue side per month. But having said that, I think overall the portfolio did extremely well in a market that continuously is under a lot of threat and it's constrained. And in relation to that, we were then able to grow our earnings substantially before the interest and the depreciation. Of course, given the size of our infrastructure investment and that a significant portion of that was capitalized during 2010-11, we then ended up seeing depreciation increasing way above 30%. And on the other hand, the interest cost increasing by 124%. So whilst everything was positive in terms of revenue generation, we were able to contain our costs. In terms of the actual investments we've made, a significant portion of that was then utilized to finance those underlying investments.